what's up? It's Rich here with Statifying Football. This is week 14 of college football. These are the 3:30, the midday games, starting off with Florida and Tennessee, big rivalry game. Florida, they started out slow against Vanderbilt, but they finished strong. They beating him 34-10. Kyle Trask on his way to a Heisman. He passed for 256, 3 touchdowns. Defensively, they only allowed 221 total yards, 3 turnovers, and had a punt return for a touchdown. Tennessee lost a couple of weeks ago to Auburn, 30-17. Garantano 156 passing, an interception, plus ran for 1. Harrison Bailey passed for 86. Eric Gray, he's one to keep an eye on. He's a really good running back. He ran for 173 yards and a touchdown there. They outgained Auburn by almost 100 yards, about 80 yards or so. But the big one, they turned it over and allowed Auburn to have a 100-yard pick six in the game. That was a big, big turning point in that game. This being a rivalry game, Tennessee is still not a very good team, and Florida is a possible national title contender, so I think Florida wins and probably wins big. Iowa, Illinois. Iowa had a close win against Nebraska, 26-20. Spencer Pitchus, 193 passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Tyler Goodson ran for 111 yards. They forced 2 turnovers, which helped them win. Illinois, coincidentally, their last game was a few weeks ago, and that was a win against Nebraska also, 41-23. Brandon Peters, 205 passing, 1 touchdown, plus 36 rushing yards and a touchdown. Mike Epstein ran for 113 and a touchdown. Chase Brown ran for 110 and 2 touchdowns. They forced 5 turnovers in that game, which helped them to that win. This will be a tough, close game, but Iowa knows how to play these games. I think Iowa wins in a very, very close game. All right, Indiana, Wisconsin. Indiana, they beat Maryland 27-11. Penix Jr., he wasn't very good, 6 of 19, 84 yards. He did get injured, so we'll see if he comes back. And Jack Tuttle came in, passed for 31 yards. Tim Baldwin ran for 106. Defensively, had 3 turnovers and had a safety in that game. Wisconsin lost a few weeks ago to Northwestern, 17-7. Mertz, 230 passing, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. They turned it over 5 times in that game. This kind of depends on Penix. I think if Penix plays, Indiana may win. If he doesn't, I think Wisconsin wins. So this will be a really, really close game. Even if Penix does play, I'll give Wisconsin a slight edge there. All right, Stanford and Washington. Stanford had a really close win against their rival Cal, 24-23. They blocked an extra point. Cal scored a touchdown with like 30 seconds or something left in the game. And all they needed was the extra point to tie it. Stanford blocked it and won 24-23. Davis Mills passed for 205 and a touchdown. They had 4 sacks and 2 turnovers in that win. Washington, they were down 21-0 at halftime to Utah. They came all the way back and won 24-21. Dylan Morris, 272 passing, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. K. Dotton, one of the best tight ends maybe in the country. 8 catches, 108, and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, Zion Tupuola-Fetui, he had 3 sacks on his own, and they forced 4 turnovers to help them come back. This would be a really, really good Pac-12 game there. I'm actually going to give this slight edge to Stanford. Dylan Morris has done well at quarterback for Washington, but if he keeps turning over like that, Stanford normally has a decent enough team to capitalize. So I'll go Stanford there, but that'll be a really, really close game. All right, West Virginia and Iowa State, possible shootout here. West Virginia, their last game a few weeks ago against TCU, they won 24-6. Jarrett Doege, 212 passing, 2 touchdowns. Lady Brown ran for 156. Iowa State had a close win against Texas, 23-20. Brock Purdy passed for 312 and a touchdown, and Charlie Kohler, 6 catches, 131 yards there. I think this will be a really close game. I think this comes down to maybe the last second, but I think Iowa State will be the one that prevails there. All right, Tulsa Navy, kind of a big game in the American. Tulsa keeps winning for stupid reasons. They don't deserve to. Whatever. They beat Tulane a few weeks ago in double overtime, 30-24. Their top 2 quarterbacks were injured, and of course their third stringer, Davis Brain, comes in, passes for 266 and 2 touchdowns. Corey Taylor runs for 132. Juan Carlos Santana, 8 catches, 138 and a touchdown. They turn it over 3 times, but they win. They had a game-winning pick 6 at the end. Navy, they lost a close game to Memphis, 10-7. Gosselin, 3 of 9, 73 yards and a pick. Nelson Smith ran for 142 and a touchdown there. Again, this will be close. Navy usually plays them close, but Tulsa, they just win this season for no reason. So I got Tulsa there. Boston College and Virginia. Boston College had a nice close win against Louisville, 34-27. Djokovic, Passed for 203, then he got hurt. Grosso came in, filled in admirably, passing for 44 yards, 2 touchdowns, and ran for 49 yards as well. They forced 3 turnovers, which was big in that game. Virginia, a couple of weeks ago, they beat Abilene Christian 55-15. Brandon Armstrong, 383 passing, 4 touchdowns, plus 52 rushing, 518 total yards. Defensively, they had 4 sacks and a pick 6. This would be a really good game, possibly high-scoring game, but I go Boston College slightly to win this one. All right, Buffalo and Ohio. Buffalo destroyed Kent State 70-41. Jarrett Patterson, remember that name, that running back. He set his second all-time with 409 rushing yards in that game. Yes, one guy, 409 rushing yards, and tied the NCAA record with 8 rushing touchdowns. Right, one game, 409 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns there. It's 663 total yards in that game. They did give up 578 though. In Ohio, they beat Bowling Green big time, 52-10. Rourke was 10 of 11 for 63 yards and a touchdown, plus 43 rushing. Armani Rogers had a passing touchdown, ran for 65 yards and another touchdown. DeMontre Tuggle ran for 185 yards and 3 touchdowns. They had a kick return touchdown. They forced 3 turnovers. This could be another pretty high-scoring game, but Jarrett Patterson is on a roll. A week after running for 301 yards, and he tops it with 409. Buffalo, I think Buffalo is the best team in the MAC, and they win this one. All right, Vanderbilt and Georgia. Vanderbilt, not much to say. They sucked. They lost 41-0 to Missouri. They were outgained 603 yards to 185. Georgia had a nice win against South Carolina, 45-16. JT Daniels, 139 passing, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Cook ran for 104 and 2 touchdowns. They ran for 332. This isn't going to be close. Georgia wins big. Hawaii, San Jose State. Now, this is a big game in the Mountain West. Hawaii had a nice win against a previously undefeated Nevada last week. They beat them 24-21. Jevin Cordero, 246 passing and a touchdown, plus 62 rushing and a touchdown. San Jose State, they haven't played in a few weeks. Their last game was a win against UNLV, 34-17. Nick Starkel, 274 passing, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Defensively, had 7 sacks. Cade Hall had 3 of them. This could be a pretty high-scoring game. Both teams have pretty good offenses here. They like to pass it around a lot there. And it's in Hawaii, so teams normally they have trouble when flying to the islands. I think Hawaii gets a little bit of an upset. I'll go Hawaii in that game. All right, Georgia Tech and North Carolina State, possible shootout. Georgia Tech, they had a nice game against Duke, 56-33 win. Jeff Sims passed for 146, 3 touchdowns, ran for 108 yards. Jordan Mason ran for 105. They ran for 377. They turned it over 3 times. They got to stop doing that. Defensively, though, they had 4 sacks, 5 turnovers, and a fumble return touchdown. North Carolina State, they had a nice close win against Syracuse, 36-29. Bailey Hockman, 313 passing, 4 touchdowns and a pick. Thayer Thomas, 9 catches, 102 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Georgia Tech is turning over too much this season. Every time they get something going offensively, they kind of shoot themselves in the foot. North Carolina State is too good of a team to do that against. I got North Carolina State to win there. All right, Ball State and Central Michigan, pretty big game in the MAC. Ball State had a nice win against Toledo, 27-24. Drew Plitt, 304 passing, 2 touchdowns and 1 pick. Ty Evans ran for 101. Justin Hall, 9 catches, 127, 4 sacks and 2 turnovers in that game. Central Michigan, they had a win against their rival Eastern Michigan, 31-23. They were down 26 in the fourth quarter, came all the way back. Daniel Richardson, he got hurt. Ty Brock came in and filled in pretty well. 62 passing yards plus 18 rushing. Lewis Nichols, 196 rushing, 2 touchdowns. Kobe Lewis ran for 106 and a touchdown. They had 553 total yards, but they turned over 3 times. They can't do that against a good Ball State offense. And they gave up 439 yards. This could be a pretty high-scoring game. I think Ball State ends up with a win there. All right, and the final one of the 3:30 games, Florida Atlantic and Georgia Southern, could be a pretty good game. Florida Atlantic hasn't played in a couple of weeks. Their last game was a win against UMass, 24-2. Posey, 203 passing, 90 rushing, and a touchdown. Georgia Southern, they lost a close game to their rival, Georgia State, 30-24. Worked 67 passing yards, 40 rushing yards, and a touchdown. Wright ran for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. I like the Florida teams. I root for Florida Atlantic, but I'm not sure that they'll be able to keep up with Georgia Southern's triple option. So this will be, I think, a pretty good game, but I got Georgia Southern with the win there. So there's my 3:30 games. Check out my noon ones and come back for our primetime ones. Peace.